Hey guys! Welcome back to another colorful keto with Dory. So we're doing something that's going to be really fun today. It's meant to be a YouTube video and it will make it to YouTube. But I decided, you know what, why not do it as a live and hang out with you guys. So on Friday, I received a tag on YouTube for a YouTube collaboration called How Do You Keto? And it's 17 questions about my keto. So I figured, why don't we hang out together and answer them, and then I'll post it to YouTube and we get a chance to hang out as well. So let me pull up my list of questions. Now, this tag was created by Deercreek Homesteading, and I will tag her YouTube channel in the description at the end so you can go and see what her answer to these 17 questions is. And I think it was a very well thought out list of questions. So let's start with question number 1. How long have you been on keto? So for me, April will be 3 years. I don't have an exact start date because I started around Easter time. Super smart Dory. I already had my 3 packs of cream eggs purchased. So that's how I know it was in April. This October was 2 years for my Facebook group. So actively out there helping other people learn keto. I've been doing that for 2 years, and I've been eating keto for about 2.5 years. Number 2, do you count net carbs or total carbs? There are some people who are going to be disappointed with this answer. I don't track. I do believe that tracking can be beneficial when you first start keto, especially if you don't understand portions of food. How much food should you be eating? I don't have strict weight loss goals, so I don't track my food on a daily basis. It can be helpful if you're stalling, if you have very high weight loss goals, but if you're like me and you're eating keto for mental health, physical health, and just because you love the food, you might not need to track at all. So I don't track, I don't count net or total carbs. How much weight have you lost? That's a fun question too. My total weight loss is 145 pounds with a combination of weight loss surgery and keto. So when I had my weight loss surgery, my top weight was 290 pounds. I was able to lose 130 pounds with my weight loss surgery. Then after my mother passed away, I regained 20 pounds. So when I found keto, I was only looking to lose that 20 pounds I gained. So my weight loss goal was 20 pounds, and with keto, I lost 35 pounds. So it's not a huge amount of weight, but I didn't have a lot left to lose when I found keto. Ooh, okay. What keto YouTube channels do you watch? I watch a lot. I watch a lot of keto YouTube channels. Some of my favorites, Headbanger's Kitchen. If you've never heard of Sahil, he is hilarious. I love him. He has a lot of fun recipes. Keto for Real Life People, that's Nancy. She is my closest soul sister, and I watch a lot of her content. I share a lot of her content. She has the most amazing keto bread recipe you will ever see. Check that out on her YouTube. It is by far her most viewed video. I also really like Keto Ginger. I love a lot of her videos. I also watch a lot of videos on YouTube that are health related, but not necessarily specifically keto channels. So I really like Obese to Beast. I like Swolenormous. I really enjoy My Thoughts Will Probably Offend You. A lot of what I watch is health community based, but not necessarily specifically keto channels. Okay, number 5, how do your friends and family feel about your diet? When I started keto, my fiance and my son reacted the same way, and they said, that's a great idea. For you? That sounds really awesome for you. And they are very supportive of the choices that I make for myself. We do eat generally healthier as a family, but they do still eat carbs when they want to. The rest of my family, a good portion of my family is gluten-free. So the keto just really flows right into my family dinners and family functions, and it's easier for me now that I'm keto than it was before, and I was trying to come up with gluten-free solutions for them, because back then Auntie Dory didn't have a clue. So it's actually worked out really well for me and my family, both in my home family and my extended family. Number 6, do you have cheat days? No, I don't. I won't say that I have cheat days. I do eat what I consider keto treaty foods more on the weekend. During the week, I like to try to stay to my meat, my vegetables, my clean foods, and on the weekends I can treat myself to waffles and pancakes and mug bread and some of the treaty keto foods, but I do not eat off plan as a cheat day. I know lots of people do, and I don't judge anybody, but it makes me feel sick. So for me, it's no benefit to eat off of plan as a treat. So I just don't do it. Okay, do you track macros? We kind of already covered this. Dory doesn't track. I did track for 2 months to get an idea of what I was eating and percentages. I don't anymore because I'm not a numbers girl, and it honestly really, really stresses me out. So if it's something that gives you anxiety, don't do it. If you love the numbers and you want to be aware of everything you eat, by all means, track away. It ain't gonna hurt you any. Okay, what is your, this is my favorite question. Do you keto-fy foods? Do you take regular versions of foods and keto-fy them? Yes, that is, I feel like that is 99.999% of what I do. Because when I started keto, and I was in a few not nice Facebook groups, the answer was always no. There was never any suggestion or solution or what you could have instead. It was just, no, that's not keto. So I started to learn how to convert recipes and make a keto version of literally anything I want. Like, I've made some pretty crazy things and I love it. I feel like that is the best part of what I do, being able to be creative, think out of the box, look at a standard recipe, and now my brain just starts doing it. As soon as I look at a non-keto recipe, my brain already starts breaking it down, changing it, deciding how I could make that keto. So I don't think I could stop that, even if I wanted to, but I don't, because that's what makes life fun. Okay, do you have a favorite keto food? That one's a hard one because it's really hard to pick just one favorite food. If I could only eat one thing, it would be pork. So I guess I would say my favorite keto food is pork. That's my favorite food, and I can have pretty much as I want on keto. Number 10, greatest health benefits. Now, this kind of brings us back to the beginning. For me, I didn't start keto with a large weight loss goal, but I also didn't realize there was a lot of really great health benefits. I fell in love with the food. It sounded like it made sense, so I just started doing it. But what I've seen since starting keto, within 3 weeks, my depression symptoms were so much less. My anxiety was so much less. And in my early 20s, I was diagnosed with severe depressive disorder, which back in the day, they used to call dysthymia if you were diagnosed back then. So I would say for me, the greatest benefit is not dealing with a lifetime of depression. I wouldn't say that keto has cured my depression, because if I went back to the standard American, standard Canadian diet, it would come back. But keto manages the symptoms of my depression. And for me, that's enough to know that if I eat this way, my brain is healthy, it makes more sense, I am more reasonable. At the end of the day, I have more patience. I'm more reasonable. I have such a high level of mental clarity with keto that for me, that's the biggest benefit. And that's all day long why I stay keto. I've lost the weight I wanted to lose. If I didn't continue seeing the benefits of keto, who would do it? I would stop and I would go back to the standard diet, and I'd come back when I gained another 20 or 30 pounds. Do you have a guilty pleasure? Guilty pleasure. That's kind of a hard one. I used to indulge in a lot of foods as guilty pleasure. I think food in general was my guilty pleasure pre-keto. Now, do you know what? I don't really feel guilty about anything. I do still take pleasure in foods that I enjoy, but because they're on plan and healthy versions, I don't feel that guilt associated with food I like anymore. So I would say no, I don't really have a guilty pleasure. What will you do when you hit goal weight? I already have. And here's the funny thing. I hit goal weight and then I gained a little weight and now we're heading back to goal again. And I think sometimes that happens when you hit maintenance. Now, I had intended, I didn't go off plan, I didn't eat off plan, but I ate a few higher carb things that are perfectly okay for maintenance. I didn't really keep it totally in line, and now we're, back at, I'd like to lose 10 pounds again. If I do, I do. If I don't, oh, well, not the end of the world. I'm okay at the size I am. It'd be nice to lose the 10 pounds I gained. What do you do? But honestly, I've been to goal before, and now I know that when I get to goal, I do have to be a little bit more careful. You can't just go egg roll at weight loss goal. For me, I included a little bit of extra fruits, and I got a little bit lazy. So that's what happens there. What does your doctor think of your diet? Now, I don't have a primary care physician. I live in a small town and I just never got a primary care doctor when I moved here. If I need care, I go to the walk-in clinic, I go to emergency if it's really bad. What I do have is regular contact with my weight loss surgery doctor, and he is totally on board with the keto and how I eat. If you guys want to check him out, his name is Dr. Jorge Sereno, and we do lives together on Monday, and we talk about, one Monday a month generally. We talk about weight loss surgery, we talk about loose skin, we talk about some of the other services that he provides, like fertility treatments and all of that. So if you're curious about my doctor and what my doctor thinks of keto, you can check him out on my YouTube station, on my YouTube channel, and I will warn you, bring you a drool towel. He very handsome, very handsome. And I'm not saying that to be rude. I'm just warning you, ladies. He's very handsome. And no one ever says they were wrong and they didn't need the towels. So, just saying. Okay, number 13. Do you exercise? I don't. I keep saying I'm going to, and I keep making a plan, and I'm like, in January, I'm going to exercise. In February, I'm gonna exercise. So I don't exercise. I did do a couple of months of exercise challenge last year, but I think it's time to start that again. So I don't know if somebody wants to help keep me on the motivation train, and maybe we can do a workout challenge. I'm not really down, but I have to. It's time, Dory. It's time. Number 15. What is your favorite keto meal to make? I'm going to have to say pizza. Keto pizza is my favorite. If you guys haven't tried Fathead Dough Pizza, you're missing out. It's pretty awesome. And it tastes better than regular pizza to me. I really, really love the keto pizza. Number 16, do you drink bulletproof coffee? I do. And it's funny because the first video that I saw about keto, they talked about bulletproof coffee, and I thought, oh, ew, butter in your coffee is so gross. And now I really love it. But I will also caution you, when it comes to bulletproof coffee, you are consuming a really lot of calories in a liquid form. And I personally got a little bit carried away with bulletproof coffees. Because of the small amount of food I eat, I was adding too much fat through my bulletproof coffees, and I wasn't hungry enough to eat meals, which is also part of the reason that I gained some weight in maintenance. So bulletproof coffee can be an amazing tool. It's absolutely delicious, but you also need to bear in mind it is a meal calorie wise. So you really have to monitor how many of those you're having and what reason you're using them. If you're having a bulletproof coffee in the morning because you're really hungry in the morning, but it's not time to eat yet, that's where you should be using them. And number 17, the last question, last but not least, do you intermittently fast? And I do. I'm going to tell you guys the story of how I learned about intermittent fasting. Because all of a sudden, and I'm going to say it was probably about 2 years ago, it hit the mainstream in a vengeance. Everybody was talking about intermittent fasting and the benefits of intermittent fasting and how much more amazing you feel. So I started researching intermittent fasting, and I was kind of disappointed because I was like, well, I already do that. So first, let's talk about what intermittent fasting is. And it just means that you eat all of your food in an 8-hour window and you fast for the rest of the day. So for me, when I discovered intermittent fasting, I was having my first meal of the day at 3 p.m. and my last snack of the day around 11. That's my 8-hour eating window, and I was already doing it. So it is something that I do on the daily. Even on the weekends, I intermittent fast. I do find I'm a little bit hungrier slightly earlier on the weekends. During the week, I don't generally get hungry until 2 or 3. On the weekends, it's usually somewhere between 1, 2, maybe even sometimes noon that I will have my first meal of the day. And I really do enjoy intermittent fasting. I don't feel like I'm going without. I don't feel like I'm hungry. And you can see some really great benefits in body recomposition, especially through intermittent fasting and some longer term fasting, which I don't do. So I will tag some other channels to give us their How Do You Keto answers, and stay tuned and you guys will see some more, getting to know some of our keto peeps. It was awesome to hang out with you guys today. I will pop back in a little bit and we'll do a live together and hang out. I just wanted to record this for the good old YouTube. So when you guys are watching this on YouTube, if you're new, I'm Dory. Take a moment to subscribe. We're going to hang out and have some fun. I'll see you soon, ladies. Bye, darlings.